Hello, this is Riding with Ree, and Ted and his friend Trafford are going cross-country schooling today. We're just getting the last bits of our stuff ready and then the horse box will be here, so we're going to take you with us. Everyone is looking quite relaxed. Ted was quite excited earlier, but he's calmed down now, so yeah, join us for the ride. So just while we're warming up here, I do want to give you a little bit of background on where we are, what we're doing, and I've had feedback from some of you that I speak too quickly, so I will do my best to slow down. So Ted and I are just warming up here. We're at Littleton Manor Equestrian Centre, which is in Reigate, and actually the course you can see here is designed by the Willis Brothers, who also designed the cross-country course for the Rio Olympics and for Badminton Horse Trials, so that is very, very cool. We are riding, so there's me, my friend, and we were in a group with 2 other riders as well. Obviously we let them know that I was filming for my YouTube channel and they gave their permission to be filmed sort of in the background. So that was great and something I would recommend if you are ever filming. So just as we were going round here, she told us, I say she, my instructor Sarah, told us all to just warm our horses up using the field space. We could go wherever we like, have a walk, trot, canter on both reins and just see how they were feeling. And actually I was really impressed with how Ted felt based on from the last time I took him cross country training, which is also here on YouTube. He was just a lot calmer. Like, he still had his forward motion, he still was really enjoying himself, he was still sort of quick, but he didn't feel really sharp. I felt like I had control and it felt really nice to just see him going around like that. So in today's YouTube video, I'm going to show you the full session from beginning to end, everything we tackled, so that if you ever go cross-country schooling with your own horse, you have a full session plan that you could try out yourself. There's going to be clips from me, obviously tackling each element. I'm going to give you voiceovers where appropriate of like what was happening in the moment and what I was trying to do. And I'm also going to show you clips from my instructor giving sort of her point of view on how to tackle certain exercises. And we do everything from logs to steps to water complexes to sunken roads. There's a load of stuff, ditches. So yeah, it's going to be a good ride and I hope that you enjoy it. Good lad, that was lovely.
After a fence, we're doing the extreme. We're jumping and we're halting. Because then eventually, when we are jumping a course of fences, you're landing and the horse is going, sit back, waiting for the next thing that you're going to ask them to do. Not just bolting off, and then you're steering and flying around at 100 miles an hour trying to get to your next fence, yeah?
So for our second exercise, we added a second fence, but we kept the halt. So we did fence 1, halt, start again, canter on, fence 2, halt again. And by this point, our horses are listening, they're warmed up, and we're feeling really confident and ready to tackle something more technical. And again, Ted was feeling good. He was forward, he was keen, he wanted to take me into the fences, but he wasn't just bolting off in any direction. Oh, good boy, Traff. So because Alex's horse Trafford, who you just saw there, has never been cross-country before, we all did a little bit of walking over ditches just to see what they would do. But honestly, it's always good practice to see whether the horses will leap over it or step over. And obviously, this time round, Ted had absolutely no problems, which is great. So for this exercise, we are just breaking down the steps. So just to begin with, our first exercise is just walking over the steps from one side to the other before we introduce any speed or any other elements. Good lad, well done.
We want to be able, a good contact is going to come from our fingers. So we can go from concrete to feathers in a split second. If our horse is going to feel like they're going around the side, concrete feathers, as soon as they're going straight. So when we're coming off a step, or a skinny, or a ditch, or something we're not sure about, we're going to do what we call an Irish rein, where we open our reins a little bit wider. When they plop off the step, if they need more rein, we've got our elbows. If they need even more, then we can slightly slip our rein.
On our second approach to the steps, we upped the speed, so I approached in trot, and I think actually we had some canter at the last minute, but just to give us an idea of what it would be like really at a competition, approaching in a bit of speed. So here, little half halt on the top and down the other side.
We're going to go round the back. There's a slope. We go up the slope, off the 2 steps, on a curve to the green.
This is one thing that I love about Sarah, and something I would recommend for you if you're quite new to cross country, is she always breaks down the exercises really simply before then tying them all together. So you saw we started off walking over the step, then trotting over the step, and now we're going down the step and turning it into a little bit of a course, so we get a sense of what a cross country course would really feel like in a competition. Now I felt good about the steps, but I wasn't quite sure about the screen, and you know what? He just popped straight over it. Ted gives me so much confidence jumping cross country. He just does everything with ease.
Oh.
So just stepping over another ditch here in preparation for jumping the roll top that you can see in front of us on both sides of the ditch. This time we're going ditch to roll top, and I just put my leg on a bit here because he got a little bit sticky as we went past the horses, just being a little bit nappy and wiggly, but jumped out lovely over the roll top.
Good boy. If we ride them into the first element when we've got a ditch afterwards, and we say go, so they do a big take off, then they land, we go look at the ditch and go, who put that there? They know it's there now, but when we're out competing, they don't know. They haven't walked the course like you have. So we always want to ride the horses into the bottom of the fence to have a pop over, then we can get on our leg on for the rest of it. Yeah? Okay. So we're riding positively out over the last. Okay, so that's what we're going to do.
So this time we're going roll top, ditch, roll top, which actually rides really, really nicely, and I felt great over this one. So now we're at the water complex, and as with everything, we're going to break this down first, and you can see that Ted isn't sure at first, but he gets in, and then we have a lovely few jumps through here.
Walk on. Good boy. Yep, good boy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Well done. This way. Good boy. You got it. Oh, you're so clever. Good boy. Well done. Yes.
We're going to go right round, go into the water, and out over your crocodile.
Okay.
Okay?
Good boy, well done. Whoa.
When we're coming through the water, we don't want to have our canter too big, because then the water starts sucking them back. So we want it like a really springy, bouncy canter, so that we have the power to get out and over the crocodile afterwards. That was good. Right, next up is, you see there's a jump in between those 2 hedges?
Yeah.
You're going to jump that, you're going to come round over that crocodile, through the water, and out over the other crocodile.
So for this one, I was really trying to make that line between this hedge fence and the crocodile, and Ted got a bit keen and I completely messed up the line. Like you can see, I'm not going to make it. So I end up doing a little circle, bringing him back round, and then lining him up for the crocodile. And this was the only time in really the whole day that he felt like he backed off a fence. He slightly backed off at the last minute, he got over it. I'd slipped my reins through the water, I gathered them up just here, and then we went out and over the second crocodile, so recovered nicely.
I thought you were going to point this one, and I was like, no. How about no?
Okay.
Roll top, ditch, roll top, pheasant feeder, step, sunken road, hedge, crocodiles.
Getting here.
So this was the last set of fences we did. It was essentially putting everything that we'd learnt in the day together, and I had a little bit of a challenge with Ted in the first field as we turned around to jump our first couple of fences back up. He got really excited and just started bouncing and bunny hopping, which he does, but I tried a couple of different techniques, so I'll let you watch it play out and then we can talk about it afterwards.
We just jump in the roll top and the ditch and then we're out.
So you saw there I tried to line him up for the first roll top, but he just kept bouncing, so I thought, okay, I'll bring him round again and try once more and try to line him up. But this happened a couple of times and I just wasn't sure whether I should just keep him pushing forward and try and make him bounce into the jump, or whether I should line him up perfectly.
Take a moment.
So here I just thought, okay, let me drop my reins for a second, give him a moment to breathe and think about it, and then try and come round again. But I was just struggling, like he's moving forward, but he's not, there's no forward motion. It's quite hard to describe without being on him, but he's bouncing towards the fence, but he's not really moving in a direction that makes me think he can get over it, and I didn't want to put him in a stupid situation. So then my instructor called out from the other field. I'm not sure if you could hear her there. She said, "Get a good trot, Ree." So I thought, you know what, okay, fine. I'll just keep moving him towards the fence and see what happens. So, not the favourite way I like to do my jumping, but I sat back, I let him bounce towards it, I held onto my neck strap, and we got over it. And once we were moving, he was actually pretty great. So let's carry on. He just felt a touch nappy here as we moved towards the step. The horses are on our right hand side here, so I thought we just needed a little more momentum to get us round, and we're just heading around to the sunken road here now as well, and then it's on to the water complex, which is our last element. So I just steadied him up here to give him a chance to see that it's a step down and a step up, so he doesn't just launch into it. Really nicely over that, and heading over to the hedge. So if you remember earlier, I got the line from the hedge to the first crocodile a little bit wrong. So here I'm trying to line myself up so that I can swing out to the left as soon as we've landed, and yeah, swing out to the left and then come round and hit the crocodile straight on.
Go on.
He just backed off my leg a little bit there as we went towards the water, so I just pushed him on a little bit, and that's us over the last. So there was just time at the end for a few family photos, and you can see the guy in front, he's a photographer who's representing Equipassion UK. They photograph quite a lot of the events that I go to. They're really great, they capture you in some really nice moments, and actually they had given us all a little bag of stud muffins for our horses, which was just such a sweet thing to do and really made the day. So as we headed out of the field, we were crossing the gallops here, which is so incredible. They run around the edge of the cross-country fields, which I just thought was amazing. I thought I heard a bell for someone galloping, but I was wrong, so just gave it a second just in case anyone came swinging by. And then it was back to the lovely horse box from the Horse Transport Company.
Yeah, really good, really good. You slowed down a bit, everything was just a bit more manageable, which is nice. And Trav was great, weren't you, Trav?
So that is it. I hope you have enjoyed this cross-country training session, and I will see you again next week. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these.